What is going on, everybody? What is going on, the Catch fam? It is Lord Big Ed here with you, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the must-start defenses for your fantasy football teams going into Week 7. If you are not already a part of the Catch fam, we encourage you to hit that subscribe button below and join the best community in all of fantasy football, and also hit that like button if you do enjoy this content, as it means a ton to the channel, guys. But with all that said, let's get into it. Let's get into these must-start defenses. Up at number 1, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns going up against the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is going to be a popular ad all throughout waivers. You're going to see it. You're going to see people talking about this defense against this Colts team after what Gardner Minshew just did to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He made the Jags look like the old school Chicago Bears. I mean, for crying out loud, Minshew looked miserable. I actually expect Minshew to look a little bit better in this next matchup against the Browns than he did the first week. I mean, whoa, that was horrible against Jacksonville. I don't know what was going on, but at the end of the day, this Cleveland Browns defense is absolutely no joke. In my opinion, it is maybe number 1, if not definitely top 3 defenses in all of the league, guys. They totally make up for the fact that their offense is not that attractive. They just beat the San Francisco 49ers, really gave them a good upset, and they did that with a backup quarterback in PJ Walker. So I don't care if Deshaun Watson's there or not. I think this defense is an absolute delight going up against the Indianapolis Colts. They know how to get after the quarterback in a big time, and they also know how to shut down the running game, guys. And they do tremendous on the back end too in the secondary. So there's really no weaknesses on this defense. I think the Colts are going to have a really hard time against this Cleveland Browns team, and I'm absolutely making them my number 1 must-start defense for your fantasy football teams going into Week 7. Up next, we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, baby. They are placing bets and they are cashing in big time, guys. Not like me, unfortunately. I've been just getting slammed with the betting. But, guys, this Las Vegas Raiders team, defensively, they're looking good, man. These last 2 weeks, they've had 9 fantasy points against the New England Patriots, which, yeah, they're gross. And then they had 12 fantasy points against the Green Bay Packers. They're getting interceptions. They're creating turnovers. Their defense is obviously led by Max Crosby, who's just absolutely one of the biggest savages in the NFL and just an absolute wrecking force to be dealt with. Yeah, he gets a lot of boneheaded penalties by hitting people after the play and doing dirty things. But hey, I love it. I love the energy he brings, and I think he's going to bring great energy to your fantasy football team this week, because they're going up against the Chicago Bears, right? Usually a beautiful matchup anyways with defenses, right? Because you get to go up against Justin Fields. Well, he's out. Well, guess what? This Badgett kid, or whatever character they're going to roll out at quarterback, even better to stream against, guys, because this Chicago Bears team is miserable. And when you saw the Minnesota Vikings just absolutely take a feasting to this Chicago Bears team after Justin Fields went out, I think that's a beautiful sign that this Bears team is just going to become even more attractive to stream against for defenses, guys. So I'm absolutely putting this Raiders team up here. I was going back and forth between my next defense I'm going to talk about at number 2 here, but I think the Las Vegas Raiders are really my top 2 must-start defenses, guys. Number 3, we're talking about Go Pack Go. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers, ladies and gentlemen. Like I just said, I was kind of going back and forth on who I was going to put ahead here, Packers, Raiders. So before you ask me any questions on this, guys, keep the questions coming, obviously, but I think I'm taking the Raiders over the Packers, but man, the Packers are a great play here too, going up against the Denver Broncos. It's in Denver, right? So you got to be scared, right? No, definitely don't be scared. Denver sucks. The Broncos suck. Everything about Denver is just absolutely miserable right now. I'm actually just going to go ahead and be so pumped when I see that Green Bay rolls in here, gets Aaron Jones back. Hopefully they look good again, because I love to see the Green Bay Packers dominate. And I love to see Russell Wilson struggle, guys. I don't know. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I think the Green Bay Packers, which have really made a good habit of getting after the quarterback. I mean, they've had 3 different games with 4 sacks. They can create turnovers. They obviously have Jair Alexander to lock up the best receiver that the Broncos have, which, put in the comments who you think it is, because I honestly don't know. They all are pretty terrible. I think this Packers defense is going to really do a lot of good things, especially coming off the bye week to prep for this Broncos team. I think the Broncos have their work cut out for them big time, and I think the Packers are going to be a double-digit type of performer here. I think the Packers win the game. I think Jordan Love off the bye week looks up better than he has recently, and I think the Packers just absolutely kill it, guys. So go ahead and throw the defense in there for you. Up next, we're talking about the run-stuffing machine, Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, baby. We're talking about the Buccaneers here. I think them going up against the Atlanta Falcons is going to be a really fun matchup, because you're going to see the Atlanta Falcons with Arthur Smith, who are going to want to, dominate through the ground game. They're going to want to maybe make their presence felt. But you're going up against Vita Vea. You're going up against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are absolutely dominant at stopping the run game. They've been dominant over the past 3 years now. They've been one of the best run defenses, guys. I think that's going to continue here. I think they're going to force the hand of Desmond Ritter to win that game. And I just don't believe that's going to happen. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which are led by some great corners as well, great safeties in Winfield in the back end, I think they're going to create some turnovers. I think Ritter is in for a big time disappointment here. He's looked decent for fantasy, at least over the past couple weeks. I think that Buck train stops now. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get it done here, and I think that they absolutely dominate. I think double digits is pretty safe. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring too, because the Falcons defense, I like them as well. I think they're a sneaky defense which plays better than they maybe have the personnel to do. I think the game planning is really good. So I think it's going to kind of achieve a lower scoring game, which is good for defenses, obviously. But I think that the Buccaneers defense is going to get a lot of sack upside and turnover upside with Desmond Ritter. So I think they're a great play, guys. Next week after that, though, they got the Buffalo Bills. I am not too excited about that matchup. So I would be looking to move off of them. Although, if you want to hang on to them for whatever reason, they got Houston the following week after that, and we've seen Josh Allen make a lot of turnovers. But this week against the Atlanta Falcons, I think they're a great play. Up next, we're throwing in a little tasty treat with the New Orleans Saints playing on Thursday against the Jacksonville Jaguars in an under 40 point total type of game here, right? So a couple of different factors going on here. Trevor Lawrence banged up, right? I expect him to probably play, but he is banged up nonetheless, and he's on the injury report, and I think that's going to be a factor in this game, whether he's there or not. I think that he's going to be playing a little bit differently, right? And also, I'm just not scared to stream against Trevor Lawrence, to be honest. He's had let defenses make plays against him. He's had interceptions in 3 out of 6 games. He's had fumbles. He has gotten sacked. He has been really not too good for fantasy. And I think that this defense of the New Orleans Saints is one of the better defenses he's seen all year. If you've had them for fantasy, you've probably been pretty happy with this defense so far. And I think that it's pretty safe if you want to hold on to them here, because the next week they have the Indianapolis Colts, and then the Chicago Bears, and then the Minnesota Vikings. So I want to put this out to you to just let you know, guys, that if you have the New Orleans Saints, I would definitely keep them. I wouldn't be too scared of the Jacksonville Jaguars with a banged up Trevor Lawrence. And one thing that the Saints do so well is stop the run game as well. So Travis Etienne, he's been absolutely fantastic, but I think they're going to do a better job at game planning against him. It's Thursday night, so Thursday night is always scary, but I'm not willing to get rid of the New Orleans Saints here because they have a juicy schedule coming up, and I still think they're very safe against Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think they're going to kill your fantasy team. With all that said, guys, this has been the must-start defenses for your fantasy football teams going into Week 7. If you are not already a part of the Catch fam, we certainly encourage you to hit that subscribe button below, join the best community in all of fantasy football, hit that like button if you do enjoy this content, and also make sure to get into those comments and let me know what questions you have, or if you have any sort of feedback on the videos, or if you want any sort of advice on your fantasy teams at the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, or defense position. Would certainly love to help you out ahead of this weekend slate of games, guys. But with all that said, this has been the must-start defenses, and you saw it here first at the Catch.